Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be looking at why retail traders fail, fantasy versus reality. So I'm going to be talking about an integral part of trading that is actually neglected by most traders, especially beginning and struggling traders, and that's why they keep falling under the 90% of losing traders in the industry. And that integral part, I actually discuss more of it in my mentorship. But today, I'm actually bringing out a portion of it to be able to help a lot of us out there, especially the beginners and traders on their journey to consistency. So, you can look at the meme right on the screen. Very, very funny meme, right? And probably some of us must have seen this meme, and probably some of us are actually laughing at this meme. But this is actually the realities of a lot of you watching this video. On the right, we have on the left, we have paper trading, and on the right, we have the real trading. Those two are different experiences. So I want you to view paper trading as when you first heard about trading, maybe from a YouTuber that just got a Lamborghini, or they just bought a house, or probably doing well for himself, and you were all wiped up about trading. Now you are dressed up like this guy on the left, ready to connect your MT4 server or MT5 server or even your trading view server to Wall Street and start milking the market. So you're all dressed up like the wolf of Wall Street. You're ready to start milking the market. And that's the kind of expectation you had coming into trading. Or probably you had expectations, or you were probably in debt, and now this is an opportunity for you to get out of debt. Why? Because you figure out this particular thing that's going to change your life forever, and that's forex trading, or either stock trading, or whatever discipline of trader you want to be. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is that each and every one of us actually got into trading for one reason or the other. But the main support way we got into trading is actually to make a very large sum of money, a great income that could actually change our life forever. And that's how we all started out in trading, like the guy on the left, looking all dressed up, ready for the business, ready for the game. Some of us actually even have listened to motivational talk. I'm ready for this. No one can stop me. I'm the master of my own fate. Blah 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 blah, and that's that. Only to find out that few weeks down the line, few months down the line, few years down the line, we are already looking like the guy on the right, crying out, wishing that we never took the decisions we take. Some of us are at this point saying the market is manipulated, the market is rigged against us. That is the kind of face you have right here on the right. You are not happy with yourself anymore. You've made the biggest mistake in your life ever. Why? Because at this point now you've lost all your savings. At this point now you've blown series of accounts, even blown up your family funds. Some of us are even at the verge of even selling properties that were entrusted to us by our ancestors just for trading. And that is why you have the face like what you can see on the right. But the truth is that I'm not here to beat up or whoop up. I'm actually here to encourage and actually strengthen your mind to tell you where you are actually missing it. And that is what we're going to be looking at in the next slide. So when we talk about trading and actually being consistent as a trader, there are two areas you want to consider and where we actually get it all wrong. And that is about strategy and personality. When we all started as traders, as the guy on the left in the previous slide, we are all whooped up as a trader. Why? Because we want to find our best strategy. That's all we need. And probably that's what that guy on YouTube was actually telling us. You want to say that was what our minds was actually giggling. So if I can find that perfect strategy that can give me 10 pips per day, that can make me $100 per day, or whatever strategy it is, then I'm going to be a winner in the market. And if I can repeat that over and over again, then being a millionaire is not far fetched. That was the approach we all had coming into trading, only to figure out that later on down the line, we have come across tons of strategy, and now we are looking like the guy on the left. Sorry, on the right, rather. You know what I'm saying? And why is that? Because we neglected the the main integral part, rather, which is our personality. Your strategy is just secondary to your personality. Your strategy should not inform your personality. Instead, your personality should actually inform the kind of strategy you choose. Why? Let's look at. Because your strategy is actually all about your plan and process of approaching the marketplace. So your strategy is just a component that just discuss only your plan and process of approaching the marketplace. While on the other hand, your personality actually talks about the sum of all your experiences, even before decided to be a trader, all your fears, all your insecurities, all your pride, all your ego, all your self-esteem, all those your um, stupidity that you had before, those things, your foolishness and towards money, your lack of risk management, all those things are the sum of the experiences you had even before you decided to be a trader. Because probably some of us have had failed businesses even before we decide trading. You understand? I may sound harsh right here, but the truth is that I'm actually trying to get your mind to think in a certain way. Because your personality is actually the sum of all your experiences, which in turn informs your character, your behavior, and actually determines how you act, react, approach, engage, or understand the marketplace and even your strategy. So instead of focusing on strategy, instead of focusing on the next big thing, because a lot of us have switched tons of strategy, and that's why even of us coming to this channel, you know, say we've seen smart money, you know, say style of approach to trading. The truth is that some of us still actually fail in smart money trading. Why? Because of this particular thing I'm talking about. Because you are still focused on strategy. You need to switch that ball in your mind. You need to switch the game now. You need to switch the game plan. And instead of focusing on learning the next better, focus on learning your personality. What are the sum of all your experiences over the years? What are those fears? What are those guilts? What are those things you have inside your mind that you are yet to face? Until you face your fears, you can't wish your fears away. You can't pray those fears away. You have to face them. Because over the years, because of you have repeated that same mistake, you repeated that habit that's formed into a character. It's now a behavior. It is now determining how you act. It's now determining how you react. So bringing a new strategy from someone else, probably from me here on this channel or from a successful trader here on YouTube, won't change the way you trade, won't improve your trading result overnight. And because of this personality, you want to say it will actually affect how you engage this strategy. So I can give you tons of strategy on this particular channel, but the truth is that you're going to still mess up these whole strategies. Why? Because of your personality is still messed up. So if you can fix your personality, and how you do fix your personality by learning about yourself. So instead of trying to judge your personality based on your strategy, instead judge the strategy based on your personality. And how do you do that? Let's say for instance you get a new strategy. For instance, you want to see how you resonate well with that strategy. Like, I've talked about a lot of things, like talking about market structure and direction. You can say how to be able to predict market structure and direction, and the first thing I mentioned is defining your time frame, understanding your style. And that is when I started talking about a little about personality. You want to say my trading results, you want to say, was washed until I started understanding personality. You want to say, so you must understand that personality actually play an integral factor, an integral role in understanding your strategy. You want to say your strategy should not inform how your personality is. You want to say instead your personality should inform the kind of strategy you're going to pick up as a trader. Why? Because the more you keep on chasing strategy, you are going to force yourself into an what I call decision paralysis. And that's where a lot of us are, especially you struggling traders watching this video right now. You are at that point, at that crossroad where you can actually make an accurate, successful trade, trading decision rather, in the marketplace. You can't make that accurate trading decision in the marketplace. Why? Because you are faced with paralysis. You are filled with a lot of ideas, a lot of knowledge that you lack understanding of that particular idea, that strategy. And as I keep pointing out on, especially my mentorship group, and I keep saying something, I said it's very, very obvious, very, very clear. I can't, as a mentor, just offer you a perfect strategy because on my own end, I have 21 plus strategy I can offer you, I can deploy in the marketplace. But that is depending on the market condition I'm faced with. You know what I'm trying to say? So if I give you a particular strategy, the truth is that what if that strategy doesn't work in that particular market condition? So What I do, especially in my mentorship, I offer concepts. I teach you the concept and the context that surrounds why a particular strategy should work. And that's what a lot of us struggling traders lack. And the reason why you lack that is because you're not focused on your personality. And that's the reason why I emphasize more on mastering your personality. Because if you don't do that and you go for more strategies, you're going to come into this particular phase where you have decision paralysis in the marketplace. You don't know whether you should be a buyer or you should be a seller. And that is because of you have tons of strategies in your head that you don't even understand the bedrocks of those strategy. And do you know why? Because you neglected your personality in the first place. You want to know your personality. You want to know whether your personality is actually needy. You know what I'm saying? Because you could actually be applying a day trading strategy to a personality that actually wants to go slow and steady. Your personality may be a personality that actually wants to really understand what the market is actually doing even before engaging it. And if the strategy you apply is actually a day trading strategy, what happens? You're going to keep losing, and that's going to affect your psychology even more, and it's going to make you even keep making the wrong decisions in the marketplace, leading you to blowing series of accounts. So you don't want to get into this phase. You don't want to get into this phase, and the only way to avoid that is to just stay out of the chase for strategy. Go out of the rat race of chasing for new strategy. I can tell you, you don't need the perfect strategy. The strategy you have now is the strategy that you only need to change your life. All you need to do is just keep improving that strategy one step at a time. And you're going to only know when to improve that strategy when you understand who you really are, your personality. And when I talk about your personality, I'm talking about what has summed your experiences over the years. What kind of person are you? Are you aggressive? We want to say when it comes to risks. Do you have patience when it comes to the market? I don't know if you get what I'm talking about. Do you want to take things slow and steady? Are you an easygoing person? All these things, you want to say, are the things you need to learn about yourself even before becoming a trader, or else you're going to be like the guy on the right. Moving forward, I want you to understand that 80% of your success rate in trading will come from your personality, and 20% will just come from your strategy. So your 80% win rate or success as a trader is going to come from how well your personality contributes to your trading decision. Is your trading strategy in line with your personality? If it is far, then success is far-fetched. So instead of watching tons of video to encourage yourself or trying to watch one motivational video, brother, sister, get back to the drawing board and start analyzing yourself. Instead of focusing on analyzing the markets, go back and start analyzing yourself. That is all you need. This is going to change the ball game for you. This is going to give you that winning edge that you are seeking all along. Once you start focusing on mastering yourself, the real game of trading is not trying to master the market. The real game of trading is knowing how to master yourself. Because it's not the market that's going to trigger the buy button or the sell button, it is you. And until you master yourself, you can't make better trading decisions. You can't know when to be a buyer. Even if you have learned it from tons of strategy, when to be a buyer, when to sell, confluences, support resistance area, institutional reference point. Though you've learned all those things, your personality can always get in the way when you don't know how to be in charge. There are a lot of things I have to say. But because of time, I'll just keep moving. So instead of focusing on the next best thing, what should you focus on? Focus on learning more about yourself. I've said that a tons of time. And what are those things? You need to know your triggers. What trigger you to be a buyer or a seller? I'm not talking about confluences here now. I'm not talking about market hitting your support and resistance. No. What are your triggers? What are your fears? What are your whys? What are your motivation? Now, your why is simply why do you get into trading in the first place? Why are you considering this career in the first place? Until you're able to answer that question, you can't avoid that guy being that guy on the right, which is the first slide we saw earlier on this presentation. You need to understand your fears. What are your fears? Do you have fears towards risks? You need to know that. What are your risk tolerance? Those are your triggers. You get what I'm trying to say? Do you have commitment? Probably some of us are working the 9 to 5. Probably we have easy income coming for us. You understand? But probably some of us are not working the 9 to 5. You understand? We are stuck with our savings and we're trying to make ends meet now. So the experience of losing a trade will be different from these both people. The person working the 9 to 5 that have a consistent income every month, and the person that doesn't have a consistent income every month, that is now on the verge of being a full-time trader. Your approach to risks is going to be different. So you want to know your triggers. What's going to trigger you? Because one losing trade can affect this person that doesn't have a source of income, and it can make him trying to engage in reverse trading. You want to overtrade because you want to make that loss back from the market. And what you didn't know is that you are setting up yourself to be that guy on the right. You want to know your motivation. What motivates you to be a trader? Why do you start trading in the first place? And one singular thing I want to advise you is, rather than focusing on just motivation, focus on being committed. Let's continue. The next thing you want to focus on is you want to focus on the needs of the market. The market is only going to reward those that understand her needs. The market is like a woman, she has needs. You know what I'm saying? This month can be a cycle after the manner of a woman, and she wants that needs to be met. Once that need is not met, she's not gonna give you anything. So you want to understand the market needs. The market only rewards you. Those winning trades you have is because of maybe luckily or unluckily you understood what the need was for the market, and that's why the market rewarded you at that given time. You understand? The reason why you have losing trades is because of you neglected the needs of the market. So you want to focus on the needs of the market. You understand what the market needs. That's what's going to inform whether you should be a buyer or a seller. You understand? The next thing you want to focus on, which I believe should be the last thing, is don't try to outsmart the market at all. At any means, just keep your risks low because the house will always win. Forget trying to be Josh Soros, trying to short the market and make 5 billion. Forget all these flipping accounts here and there on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? At this stage of your development, what you want to focus on is keeping risks low, because this is also going to help you understand yourself better. This is also going to make you understand what the market needs, because now you're not going to be focusing on trying to make so and so amount of returns per month. Instead, now you're focused on now knowing what the market efficiency is all about. You're trying to understand, okay, what and where should you be in the marketplace? When should you get in and when should you get out? And that's going to work out when you're not trying to outsmart the market, and also when you are keeping your risks low, because each and every one of us have different approach to when it comes to risking life money in the marketplace. Finally, the bedrocks of retail trading is all about turning risks to reward, not flipping accounts, but turning risks to reward. Your biggest limitation would not be knowing not knowing enough strategy rather to win in the marketplace, but not knowing enough about yourself to keep winning and stay consistent in the marketplace. So that's actually going to be your biggest limitation in trading. I'm telling you from experience. You understand? Your biggest limitation is not going to be not knowing enough strategy. It's going to come from not knowing enough about yourself. And the last of all is that strategies have limitations. So if you probably learn a strategy from me, learn a strategy from any successful trader here on YouTube, or probably your mentor, probably you watching this video, you have a mentor watching this and you come across this video, your limitations are going to be on your strategy. But when you understand, so you're going to have limitations right on your strategy. But when you have an understanding about yourself, about your personality, the sum of your experience, your triggers, your risk tolerance, this all forms your personality. That is going to give you a breakthrough and an odds against those limitations that you're going to encounter in your strategies. So I hope you find value in today's video. If you do, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and see you in the next video.